Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back to our legal, political, social program where we were discussing about some of the issues about Islamophobia, some of the domestic violence, some of the police brutality जो अभी video देखी थी, some of the quite concerning issues and disturbing videos you've seen on the TV, live recorded, was put down, and the police officer has been charged and pending other investigations with the other officers. I want to move back to Miriam. Miriam, we were talking about this, the police using excessive force and brutality. This is thuggery by the police. Now let's just go back on the domestic violence. When the domestic violence, when a woman records and phones the police for domestic violence, what I want you to tell the viewers, it's been discussed here, so in some cases and in some aspects the police have failed to respond.
They have to respond, yes. I had one case where a lady called the police 999 because of her partner's girlfriend who broke into the house, and she was beaten up, dragged from the kitchen into the living. She was pregnant, and the answer she got from the police officer saying that you haven't died, we're sending the ambulance, so don't worry. They did not turn up at all at the doorstep, which I was really upset about. I thought she needed the police at the time. Where were they? And then the hospital phoned up to report the crime and tell them that she's got these injuries, and the same response the hospital had from the police. They just said, sorry, we short out our staff is on other emergency call, which I believe the DV should have been priority.
Sorry, Mariam. Caller, this is Shamikar. Welcome to our legal political show.
Hello.
Hello, hi. Good evening.
It's Nawaz here from Manchester.
Yes, Nawaz, welcome to the program. And
thanks very much. मैं इत्तेफाकन वैसे ही जो है
जी
मैं स्काई लगाया था, तो मैं अचानक जो है बस हिदायत टीवी पे में देखा, काफी खुशी हुई देख को आप।
थैंक यू।
आपको याद होगा कि 2013 में मैं डिटेंशन सेंटर में था, आपने काफी हेल्प की थी मेरी।
Okay, thank you.
So it's a really nice program you're doing today.
Thank you.
I'm really happy to listen.
Very good. वेरी गुड। आपने देखा था अभी वीडियो हमने भी प्ले करी थी बैकग्राउंड पे, जहाँ पे पुलिस अटैक कर रहे थे नॉर्मल सस्पेक्ट्स को, ड्रग डीलिंग हो रही थी, पर उन्होंने पुलिस वालों ने उनको पकड़ के मारा है। जी सी ना वीडियो जो भी लगी
जी, मैंने ऑलरेडी ये वीडियो जो है फेसबुक पे, सोशल मीडिया पे देखा हूँ, काफी ये बुरा हुआ है, अच्छा काम नहीं हुआ। और आई जस्ट वांट टू रिक्वेस्ट दैट टू फोकस ऑन द
जी focus on, we are focusing on that.
No, I just want to request to focus on the detention center as well. It's very human things inside, and because I spend time inside the detention center, immigration detention center I'm talking about, and it's more worse than that.
Okay, that's a very good point. I think thank you, Nawasa. Boba Shukriya. Thank you for one of the cases I dealt with in the past and helped this, and he remembers it, and I'm really grateful that हमारे पास successful reports भी हैं. But एक बहुत अच्छी बात अभी in caller साहब ने बताई that detention center is another area where there's a big brutality.
Yes, there
is. Have you come across that?
Yes, I have come across that, and I have come across home office when I've done most of visits with my client at home office. I had one lady who collapsed there, and the security guard and the lady who was at the reception did not bother picking her up, left her there till they said, oh well, we can't touch her, we can't do anything, and we'll call the ambulance, but they didn't call the ambulance. So one of the other ladies picked her up and gave her water and put her on the chair, and then actually after a few minutes when I came back I spoke to her, and she says to me, oh, this was happened to her, she fell, she collapsed, and this is what they done, they not helped her. I felt a bit annoyed there, because I think there's more to do in the home office. They've got signs clearly saying, oh, we'll do that, we're helpful, you know, we treat everybody equal, but I don't think this is happening at all.
Rashid, very important quality here. The person identified as lawyers or solicitor, the discrimination, the attack, the failures in the detention center. Let's just talk about this. इसमें आप देख रहे, ये आपको पता है लास्ट ईयर की रिपोर्ट में भी आपने देखा था जब इन्होंने बंदों को पकड़ लिया था, जब ये ट्रक्स पे आए थे, and they were arrested and put into in South London, they were put in detention. A big riot निकली थी only last year, you recall that one, because उन्हें कहते वहाँ खाने की, रहने की, hygiene के big issues there that created. Let's just talk about that. ये क्यों हो रहा है? What's going on?
बिल्कुल जी, होम ऑफिस ने ये सारा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट G4S को दे दिया और G4S उसको मैनेजमेंट खा रही है और G4S इस तरह अब्यूज़ कर रही है डिटेंशन सेंटर को जिस तरह उनका एक अपना प्रिजन होता है। तो उसकी वजह यह है कि डिटेंशन सेंटर में जो डिटेनीज होते हैं उनको कंप्लेंट सिस्टम का पता नहीं है, वो कंप्लेंट कहाँ पे करें, किस तरह करें। दूसरी बात यह है कि उनको स्मार्टफोन नहीं दिए जाते, जिसकी वजह से वो कोई एविडेंस कलेक्ट नहीं कर सकते ताकि वो डिटेंशन सेंटर के खिलाफ को कंप्लेंट कर सके। मैं रोज़ाना कॉल रिसीव करता हूँ डिटेंशन सेंटर से, तो सुबह मॉर्निंग एक मेरा गुलाम फरीद एक क्लाइंट है, उसने मुझे बोला कि मुझे मैं सिक हूँ, वॉमिटिंग हुई और ब्लड आया। मैंने कहा यू हैव टू कॉन्टेक्ट विद योर जीपी इन डिटेंशन सेंटर। थोड़ी देर बाद फिर उसका फ़ोन आया कि मैं डिटेंशन सेंटर में जीपी के पास गया और उसने बोला कि आज अपॉइंटमेंट फिनिश है, यू हैव टू कम टुमारो अगेन। ठीक है, वो इतना सीरियस है बंदा। फिर मैंने उसको बोला कि ठीक है मैं आपके लिए कुछ करता हूँ। तो डिटेंशन सेंटर ने एक सिर्फ रूल बनाया हुआ, उसे रूल 35 कहते हैं कि अगर आपको प्रीवियस कहीं टॉर्चर हुआ हो तो उस पे वो रिलीज देते हैं। उसमें उन्होंने एक इंडिपेंडेंट जीपी वहाँ पे बैठाया हुआ, वो उसकी रिपोर्ट कलेक्ट करता है। अगर उसकी रिपोर्ट में उसको लगे कि इसके साथ टॉर्चर हुआ है तो फिर सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट उसको रिलीज कर देता, अदरवाइज नो।
मगर आपको
But a home office, there's other issue with the home office. I've noticed, I know you're a lawyer, I've done consulting, but the other thing we have with the home office and with G4, once they have got the full list of people where they should be put, and then there's old people in there, vulnerable old people who cannot walk, they end up putting them up on 3rd floor, 5th floor. I had one lady who fell and nobody was there to see her. She actually collapsed. She was bruised, she was old, and one of her neighbors heard the scream and went and picked her up and took her to the hospital. So I think there's a lot of things are going in our home office, and I think with these issues we can always raise these for them and put that, and with these things need to be put forward again to the Parliament House. Sure. Whoever they give in this contract, they need to make clear the health and safety rules which are not put in place at all.
And on top, picking up from that, bail ka bhi aapko bataya, we deal with this most of the time. Under medical condition, they can't keep you in the detention center.
मेडिकल कंडीशन में मैं ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन कर चुका हूँ। तो वो CIO बेल, जिसे चीफ इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर बेल करते हैं, वो उस वक्त ग्रांट करते हैं जब रूल 35 रिपोर्ट पॉजिटिव हो। ठीक है, उस वक्त तक वो उसको नहीं देते जब तक कोई पेंडिंग डिसीजन हो या कोई पेंडिंग एप्लीकेशन हो, जिसकी वजह से वो बेल ग्रांट कर देता। मोस्टली उनका ये होता है कि ये अब्सकंडर हो जाएगा, ये दोबारा रिपोर्ट नहीं करेगा, इस तरह के बहाने करके फिर वो कोर्ट की तरफ रुजू करते हैं कि तुम IJ बेल अप्लाई करो। IJ बेल में एक डिफरेंट प्रोसीजर है। IJ बेल के लिए जो श्योरिटी होता है वो एक उसकी अच्छी एम्प्लॉयमेंट हिस्ट्री हो, उसके पास अच्छी सेविंग हो, और जो डिटेनी है उसका रिकॉर्ड अच्छा हो, तो उसकी बेस पे वो बेल ग्रांट करता है।
But these things again needs to go back to Parliament House with NHS, with the Home Office, with the police. These things need to be put forward to Home Office, which I believe none of the MPs are picking these up and not putting. All they're caring about is their own votes, filling their own pockets, and let's say yes, I'm doing for the community, but I don't think there's any community work has been done at all. If you look at it again, why is this hate crime going up? Why is NHS going down? Why is the Home Office going down? Because there's no such a funding that they can help and everything, but they say they have funding, then why is not funding being used in the right place?
Absolutely. Just coming back, views को बताते चलेंगे। इस वक्त आप very important debate सुन रहे हैं। We're talking about some of the domestic violence, hate crime, Islamophobic on the back of this. We talked about last week. But some of the figures we have from Home Office, from the national statistics, where some over 62,000 reported hate crimes in the year 2016, out of which we've had about 73,000 which have been on the race-based discrimination, and out of them religious ones have been very high significantly. So I think this will increase.
I think they have increased. You're saying they're going to increase, they have increased. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because you see Mulana walking down the street, if he picks something out, he gets picked by the police, or rather he's picked by another guy just because he's Asian, or an Asian woman. I don't know if you've seen it on the YouTube or not. She was coming from a train station where she was kicked by 2 white guys, but no one was there to help her.
And this was on a platform?
Yeah, this was, and then acid been thrown, and then they said they're doing something about it, but there was nobody to help that poor woman. That girl would have been alive today if community and if the police did something They just left that girl to die. It was her birthday when she turned 20.
This is a recent case you
Yes, it
told
was.
about.
Yeah, and that guy has died when his sister. He lost his cousin's sister. A family lost a daughter. Nobody could replace that for them.
So let's just talk about this. There's some of the issues. These are figures from last year. We've had increases of terrorism in the country,
Yes.
and the back of that, just the flip side of the negativity, has been an increase in hate crime.
That's right.
And so you're saying the police have got issues anyway, they're not
Yes,
dealing
that's
with.
right, yeah.
And some of the issues we've identified where the brutality has gone so crazy,
That's right.
and they're breaking the law. But it's about education, about the more training. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that we got to address some of these serious issues,
Yes.
Rashid Saab. There is a major issue. So ये last year की figures मैंने दिए statistics जो दी अब देखें जो अब के जो होंगे they can be more than that. Last program में the hate crime has gone up 500% from the police own figures that we've been talking about. We talked about on Islamophobia last week.
Yeah, okay. हेट क्राइम की जो परसेंटेज बढ़ने की वजह वो ये है कि वो हमारे साथ सही तरीके से कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहे. जब पुलिस बंदे के साथ खुद कोऑपरेट नहीं करेगी तो वो अपनी सोल्यूशन खुद निकालने की कोशिश करता है. जब वो अपनी सोल्यूशन खुद निकालने की कोशिश करता है तो वो क्राइम में इन्वॉल्व हो जाता है. जब वो क्राइम में इन्वॉल्व हो जाता है तो क्रिमिनल हो जाता है. क्रिमिनल हो जाता है तो हेट क्राइम की रेशो बढ़ जाती है.
जी.
तो पुलिस को हमारे साथ कोऑपरेट करना चाहिए, एशियन कम्युनिटी के साथ. जिस तरह वो एक ब्रिटिश वाइट पर्सन की बात सुनते हैं, वो हमारी सही तरह से बात नहीं सुनते, ना वो हमसे स्टेटमेंट लेते हैं, नो फर्दर एक्शन टेकन पे हमें छोड़ देते हैं. ठीक है जी, हमने आपकी बात सुन ली, नो फर्दर एक्शन, आई कांट डू एनीथिंग. ठीक है, इस वजह से हमारे लोग जो है ना वो खुद बदला लेने की कोशिश करते हैं और जिसकी वजह से क्राइम में इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं और क्राइम रेशो बढ़ जाती है.
But they said that because the funding's been cut down on the police force, and so the police force has been cut down. So if you're calling police on one side, they'll end up doing one thing on one side.
But can I just give you a figure? The
Yeah.
figures are so there have been 20,000 fewer police officers in UK. Obviously, there's been cut down. This is the figures. There's 20,000 less police. But that doesn't excuse the fact that they use their tactics what they're using.
They have no right to attack because they're
Exactly.
public servant and they have a duty to
A duty of care.
and they should have known health and safety rules. They should have known what they're doing. If it doesn't matter if
It
the
is a
person's a
duty of
drug
care.
dealer.
It's a duty of care which
doesn't
they're
matter if
failing.
the person's a drug dealer, but they have no right to push anybody around or kick anybody. Yeah.
But this comes to the point you mentioned about when a woman was experiencing domestic violence at home.
Yeah.
She phoned the police. She's been attacked by another lady in her own property.
That's right.
And the police said, "Well, we can't come down and because you're not dead."
You're not dead. Yeah. This is very wrong. The officers are trained to hear that out, and they should support her because it's a DV, and DV is a priority, which government knows. Everyone knows DV is a priority. That wasn't taken as a priority, and that was left in that case, and not just in there's been certain more cases that have picked up and where police has not turned up. Because our officer are under the emergency call. So if you want to take your client, take her to the hospital. So where I felt very annoyed, and I thought this is not on. What is happening to the police force? Where are they going? They can't be stuck to one job. They should know there's other jobs, not just in one place.
You alluded on to the fact that the community leadership, our elected members, have failed to do that. They've been lining their own pockets and just taking the votes. This is a very, I mean, it's a bit harsh. Do you think that's what in reality is going on?
That's what's reality, I believe in, because you can see them because they've got easy life going, but they're not seeing the people who are suffering outside.
So these elected members from our communities are not addressing these issues and failing to do so.
That's true. They're not, because they're not seeing things what are happening in our community. They're not looking at the other community. Things are happening in the mosque. Our mosques are getting targeted. People walking on the street getting targeted. These people have nothing to do with this. Why should they be targeted?
बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट बात अभी मरीम ने कही that जो हमारे जो community representatives हैं, जो councillors बनते हैं, जो MPs और position and power authorities हैं, तो why are they not doing it? Obviously they are trying to do something about it. Is it not happening, or is it they don't care about it? What's happening?
पहले तो बात है कि जमहूरियत की, जमहूरियत बनती है जमहूर से. ठीक है, मैं आपसे पहले प्रोग्राम में बात कर रहा था कि जमहूरियत, पाकिस्तानी जमहूरियत में और हमारी जमहूरियत में क्या फ़र्क है. जमहूरियत में कोई फ़र्क नहीं होता, जमहूर में फ़र्क होता है. जमहूर कौन होता है? वोटर. ठीक है, वोटर डिसाइड करता है कि मेरे लिए कौन बंदा सूटेबल है और कौन मेरी बात आगे तक ले जाएगा. एक्चुअली हमारा सिस्टम है अभी भी हमारे जितने भी जमहूर पाकिस्तानी जमहूर जो ब्रिटिश नेशनल है यहाँ पे, उनको वोट को कंसेप्ट ही नहीं पता। वो तो या तो वोट तलक पे देते हैं या बरादरी इज़्म पे देते हैं या फोटो सेशन पे देते हैं। तो मैंने कोई प्रैक्टिकल मुजाहरा तो नहीं देखा यहाँ पे आज तक अपने 10 ईयर में। मैंने एक कॉलम लिखा था चौधरी सरवर पे जब उन्होंने गवर्नरशिप से रिजाइन किया जी, तो मैंने कॉलम डेली पाकिस्तान में लिखा कि उसमें मैं क्या लिखता हूँ कि जो 10 सालों में मैंने कोई ऐसा काम चौधरी सरवर का नहीं देखा कि उन्होंने 10 सालों में कोई अपनी कौम के लिए यहाँ पे किया हो एज ए MP, एज ए मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट। ना ही उन्होंने कोई ऐसा सेल बनाया, ना कोई उन्होंने ऐसा एडवाइस सेंटर बनाया, ना उन्होंने ऐसी कोई डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस पे कोई ऐसी चैरिटी बनाई, कोई ऐसा काम नहीं किया जिसकी वजह से कोई कम्युनिटी को फायदा हो, ना कोई ऐसा फ्यूनरल सिस्टम बनाया। फ्यूनरल सिस्टम यहाँ का ये है कि अगर कोई बंदा किसी की डेथ हो जाए तो अपनी मदद आप या बरादरीज़म कुछ 10-12 लोग या 50 लोग जो बरादरी के होते हैं वो उस चीज को ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं। लेकिन हमारी कम्युनिटी की तरफ से कोई फ्यूनरल सिस्टम नहीं है। कोई गरीब भी हो सकता है, कोई ऐसा बंदा हो सकता है उसका कोई 1% भी ना हो इंग्लैंड में। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरी वालिद साहब की डेथ हुई 2014 में, चिट्ठा मिल में मैंने कोई ऐसा फ्यूनरल सिस्टम नहीं देखा। मैंने फ्यूनरल सिस्टम हायर किया, 2000 पाउंड दिए। फिर मैं जामिया मस्जिद में गया, फिर मैंने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट की, उन्होंने बोला जी जामिया मस्जिद के पैसे, मैंने जामिया मस्जिद के पैसे दिए। फिर गुस्सा हुआ, फिर मैंने ऐलान करवाया, फिर उन्होंने कहा पैसे दो, मैंने पैसे दिए। फिर मेरा उन्होंने जनाजा पढ़ाया, जनाजे के बाद जब खत्म हुआ तो फिर उन्होंने पैसे मांगे, फिर मैंने पैसे दिए, फिर मैंने खत्म करवाया। मैं इस कम्युनिटी से पूछना चाहता हूँ कि क्या आपके पास इतने फंड्स नहीं है कि आपको कम्युनिटी के लिए कोई ऐसा सिस्टम बना सके ताकि वो खुशी और गमी में एक जगह इकट्ठे बैठ सके? कोई ऐसा सिस्टम नहीं है। ना हमारी कोई बात आगे पार्लियामेंट तक पहुंचती है, ना अब हमसे साइन ले लिए जाते हैं, फंड रिलीज करवा लिए जाते हैं, लेकिन ये नहीं पता कि वो फंड कहाँ जाते हैं।
ठीक है, वो जो
all to do with the leadership, because whoever is taking on the leading, oh, can you vote us? We give them votes, we expect them to help us, but they're not. It's just not in our community. It's happening in every community. They're filling their pockets, they're taking it, but what is happening to the community? They're not getting it.
I think very good. आपके बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है जो आपने अभी डिस्कशन में लिया है about the community failure for addressing some of these issues. मगर हमारा इस वक्त ये है, हमारी कम्युनिटी का एक मसला बना हुआ है जहाँ पे जो फोरम होती है, जो जहाँ पे ये मुस्लिम फ्यूनरल कमेटी बनती है।
आज जितने भी कम्युनिटी के लिए मसाइल हैं जी, वो हमारे लीडर्स की वजह से, हमारे लोकल MP की वजह से, वो हमारे लिए कोई ऐसी चीज ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं कर पा रहे जिसकी वजह से हम उन मामलात को, उन इशू को रिजॉल्व कर पाए।
वैसे मैं आपसे ये डिस्कशन करेंगे बिकॉज इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन। मरीम, ऑब्वियसली आई एम गोना कम बैक टू द हेट क्राइम रेसिज्म पे, बिकॉज ये फेलियर है जो राशिद साहब ने बहुत अच्छी बात मेंशन करी, हम इसको डिस्कशन में लेके आना है। बिकॉज ये मुस्लिम फ्यूनरल कमेटीज बनी हुई है, बेशुमार जगहों में बनी है, मैनचेस्टर में, ओल्डहम, रॉचडेल, बर्मिंघम, लंदन। बट इन रियलिटी क्या रहा है, ये डिस्कशन इन्होंने बहुत अच्छी रेज करी। पर अभी मैं से हटता हूँ जरा से, कमिंग बैक टू द इशू अबाउट हेट क्राइम रेसिज्म, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट बिकॉज जब आपने जो मेंशन करा था द काइंड ऑफ वी आर नाउ गोइंग टू बी डीलिंग दिस, द रीजन वी bringing it on air today is that we're talking about some of the problems and how we're going to address some of these issues. And this is a serious issue. So we're going to be talking about these issues, we're going to highlight these issues, and we do have a meeting coming up with the police General Police and Commission, and to raise some of these issues. And we are tackling these issues, but we want to make sure that these issues are raised, people do talk about it confidently, so something can be done about it.
My belief is, yes, I want the community to come up to this meeting, meet us, even the leaders, businessmen. We want to come, make them come forward, open up, ask the questions, and they probably find the answers there. If not, then yes, we can always write in and find out for them, but it's best if they come face to face, ask the questions, and they might get their answers there, so they can then rely on what they need to know and who they're facing.
I think we will give an opportunity to one of our guests on our program will be somebody from the police force to come and actually speak and give their perspectives on this. I think that would be a good representation.
Yes, I
from
would
them.
believe that they need to come, and I believe we should have the MP Shabana Mahmood and MPs from here to answer the questions.
Which we will be doing now. We're going to have a program with this run cutting that we're going to try to get one or two of our guests to come in and discuss some of these issues what have been raised today. Footage of the DKT, that was a real program where real issues, real people being attacked by police thuggery, and that is a crime in itself. And we've highlighted it. It's going to cross a number of cities at the moment. But we talked about the acid attacks. That's on the rise in London.
Yeah.
Bicycle crimes on the rise in the city of London. We did discuss some of these issues about Islamophobia, but just coming back on the hate crime, this is on the rise.
This is.
So these acid attacks you're in London, mate, this is as sad as it is, that can be replicated across the country.
Yeah.
Because I've been to London, Maureen.
Well, it has gone, because it's gone to Birmingham, it's gone to other places, Nottingham, so we cannot just say it's happening in London, because things has moved out. We had a lady who's been spit on the face when she had a window open. We had a
this has happened in Coventry, Birmingham,
yeah. We had a lady who was stopped at the bus stop. A guy came up and pulled her scarf off her. So I think it has raised, it's gone to all over the place, but we need to know what action is the police taking, and what action is the government taking, what is happening in the Parliament House.
Raisa, आपको ये याद होगा हमारे प्रोग्राम में we did talk about some of these issues about the acid attacks. तो ये तो मतलब a dangerous substance they're using to throw on people and to really उनकी लाइफ ख़त्म कर देने थी. This is so dangerous.
बिल्कुल बहुत ख़तरनाक बात है ये. इस इशू को पार्लियामेंट में रेस करना चाहिए. इस पे कानून साजी होनी चाहिए और सख्त से सख्त कानून होना चाहिए उस ताकि दोबारा इस तरह की कोई हरकत ना कर सके. लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली कोई एक्शन ही नहीं ले रहा.
But this wasn't before in UK. Acid was taken seriously, but these things you would only hear in different countries, like in Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh. But now it's common.
India as well.
It's in common now in UK. You can just throw acid and walk away, get away with the murder. So I just need to know what is happening in Parliament.
I think that with fairness, the government, Joe Swagder, your Home Secretary, she's now made this clear, and she's bringing it to the government, that they're going to bring stiffer penalties on issues. And the corrosive substances is going to be labelled, and it will be challenged, they'll be taken into the courts as saying life-threatening, life sentences. So this is a very important aspect. So they are taken seriously, because this is an attempted murder.
It is.
That's what we're looking at. This is what the government, at the moment, they had an issue with some of the with sentences, not a problem already, because there were substances they were using, and the legislation has not been updated. We had this discussion on this one, some about the corrosive substances you use already, acid attacks. The government is now changing legislation to incorporate stiffer sentences, which is a good thing. I think there's long waiting. That's going to be happening, Mariam.
Right. What they're saying, but we got to see it, because what's taking place now, we can't stop that, because by the time they have that in place, we don't know how many people are going to be harmed.
Sure. Mariam, we're now coming to the close of the program. I'm going to be really very quickly up here, but what we're going to be doing now, some of the issues you've been talking about, domestic violence projects we've been talking about, is about hate crime. What is your message देना चाहती हैं?
My message is, I want people to come out, speak to us, and tell us their problems, tell us what is police doing to them, so we can raise this and we can help you to take these up to Parliament House and stop all this, and we can keep the community together and keep it clean.
Thank you. And Rashid साहब, आप बताना चाहते हैं मैसेज, obviously what we're doing.
जी, मेरा मैसेज है उन लोगों के लिए जिनके लिए डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस है. डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस वो लोग अप्लाई कर सकते हैं जो लोग एज ए स्पाउस वीज़ा इस मुल्क में इंटर हों. जब भी आपके साथ कोई डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हो, फ़ौरन पुलिस को रिपोर्ट करें, अपने डॉक्टर को रिपोर्ट करें. और वेरी सिंपल फॉर्म है, DDV फॉर्म है, ऑनलाइन फॉर्म है. आप ईमेल होम ऑफिस को करें तो आपका पुराना वीज़ा कर्टेल करके आपको वो 3 माह की DLR डिस्क्रेशनरी लीव टू रिमेन दे देंगे, जिसमें आपको इनकम सपोर्ट, पब्लिक फंड, हाउसिंग बेनिफिट और सारी सपोर्ट
जी फिनिश करें
तो वो आपको मिल सकती है. डोंट डिले. अगर आप पुलिस को रिपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे, डॉक्टर को रिपोर्ट नहीं करें, तो आप डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस के कानून से कोई फायदा नहीं उठा सकते.
There are channels open, there are hostels open for you, so if when you do decide to go to police, yes, there are people like us out there to help you and support you and put you in the direction so we can get all this sorted.
Thank you very much, Mariam, for sharing the platform.
Thank you.
Very interactive, very good program we've had with discussion related to hate crime, domestic violence. Raisa, आपका भी बहुत it's a pleasure having you with me all the time. अपने व्यूअर्स again आपने बहुत ही एक प्रोग्राम में देखा था some of the issues about hate crime. We just discussed this. Some of the domestic violence issues. If you're one of these victims and you feel that there's not little been done about it, you need to report this. This is the message we're giving. Our contact details will be made available after the program, and you can take these details. We'll be more than happy to get back to you. Our email, our telephone numbers will be made available, and we're going to look into whatever issues you bring to us. And we will be discussing further programs where we're going to have representations from the MPs and local leadership to come over here, and possibly somebody coming from the police to talk about some of the issues the community has been faced with, some of the brutality, some of the issues what they're feeling that the police are not addressing, the seriousness about the crime levels, and they feel the police is ignoring. This is something we should be talking about. This is our platform. We have an interactive engagement with the community, so you take part in this program and feel free to contact us. We never had the time today to discuss some of the legal issues, but we'll be hopeful for the next program, inshallah. We'll be discussing immigration, civil litigation and representation. Once again, I want to thank my guests for coming today. Mariam Khan, who made an appearance today, I wish you all the best, and also my colleague Rashid Mahmood for taking part in this program. And we will be back next week. We will be discussing some of these political, legal issues and social in our next program. So thank you for watching. We'll be back soon.